It has been a long time since I've covered anything Star Warsy on my channel. For quite a while now, I just haven't really cared enough to make any types of videos about it. I still like Star Wars for the most part, but I don't really care to look into any more stuff after the sequel trilogy. Not that it's damaged me so, I just don't really need to check up on that universe right now. But my buddy Black Angus Reviews suggests that I give the Book of Boba Fett a watch, as well as The Mandalorian, to at least give them a chance, at least see what they got. It may not be great, but maybe it's not horrible, so we'll see. I mean, I did get him into The Karate Kid and Cobra Kai and South Park, which he was against at first, but now he's all in for it. So in exchange, it's only fair that I check out some things that he recommends, like this and Breaking Bad, which I'll get into at some point here. But I don't feel like making a full-on script about a review for Book of Boba Fett, or just coming up off the top of my head with a review for it. So I'm just going to use the points that he makes in his video to comment on with what I think about it, basically. So go check out Black Angus Reviews' full-on video if you want to catch his full thing. But I'm going to go through it right here, and I think it's a good compromise. Let's see. I think this little animation was done by It's a Vase Productions. Pretty cool.
I know it's been a while. Today we're going to be talking about Chapter 1 of the Book of Boba Fett. Something about strangers, strange land.
Don't be too distracted by the legs in the background. But do check out his meth
I
gear.
really liked it.
I did not really like it.
It's kind of funny because I saw commentary on Twitter, not really spoiling.
Not my commentary, just saying.
But a lot of complaints in my sphere.
Oh, yeah.
And right off the bat, I gotta tell you, I don't have those complaints. Like I said, I really like this episode.
Okay.
I am a huge fan of slow burns.
Yep, I'm also, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of slow burns, but I don't mind some slow burns as long as they're done pretty well. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is probably the best example I can think of off the top of my head. I did not think I would like it. I'm not a huge fan of Westerns in general, but I freaking love that movie. So slow burns are okay in my book, but it depends on how well they're done and what they're doing with their time. Book of Boba Fett, I don't think utilized that slow burn time well.
Things that really take their time. Things like Dune. Didn't really like Dune.
I've never seen Dune, but that's something that is quite common around here, honestly.
Pew, 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 wow, and fast plot.
Yeah, fast plot stuff is, can be fine as well, but it really depends on how it's executed, which is usually not that well these days. So sometimes they're good at doing fast stuff, but Star Wars lately, I don't know.
Sequel trilogy, where it's like
he's about to use that as an example.
Don't worry about it. Next topic, next plot point. Don't think about it.
He's mostly referring to Rise of Skywalker, I assume, where every single thing is moving at faster than you can get your shoes on for to do anything. Just crazy.
This show, it's got a lot of balls to it. I got to give Disney, Favreau, all them credit for going with this direction.
I don't know if I agree with that.
This show, if you don't know, takes place after season 2 of The Mandalorian, and
of which I haven't seen the Mandalorian show. I think I saw 5.5 episodes of The Mandalorian season 1. I should probably give them a fair shake by finishing them out the rest of the way. But I do know of a lot of spoilers from the show anyway, from Mandalorian, and that at the end of the show, Boba Fett beats up fat Bigford tuna or something, and then he becomes Tatooine guy, I guess. I don't know.
It has balls in the sense that
why are dental companies lobbying to make this toothbrush illegal in the U.S.?
I would let it play the whole way, but it's almost a 3-minute ad, and fuck that. I'm sorry, Angus. Nope.
Despite Disney, despite being this franchise, constant pumping out product,
assembly line.
They're not really worried about where you're at in the series. They're kind of forcing you, hey, either catch up or just be blindsided if you don't know what's going on. And I don't want to catch up. Like that.
I don't want to have to catch up though. Really, that's not something I want to do. But so far, I'd say there wasn't too much that you need to catch up on really with this. And I haven't even seen the ones to know if I needed to.
Like I said, watch The Mandalorian, get caught up on season 2, so you know everything. But it is familiar enough, certain aspects.
Yeah, it is familiar enough. Sure.
Just the character of Boba, where it kind of teases past events, like Episode 6, what we thought was his end, back to Camino in Episode 2, and on Geonosis as well. And I like that. That was really fun. I didn't expect those prequel little whiffs, those elements in the show, because up to this point, besides Clone Wars, my fandom, prequel fandom, we've pretty much been ignored, just like the expanded universe people. I'd say even more so, probably.
Yeah, and by the way, I haven't read anything Boba Fett in the expanded universe. I've only seen him in the movies, and as far as I can tell, if you're going to ask me like if I want to see more Boba Fett, I'd say no off the top of my head, because whatever extra we got, like in the Attack of the Clones, I thought was good enough, I guess. Like I never really was wondering about who he is personally. Like if I were to list off 10 characters from the OT trilogy, I don't even think Boba Fett would be the first 10 that come to my mind. There's so many I'd list first before Boba Fett, so my interest level in Boba Fett in general is just very minimal, if non-existent at all, but, you know, we'll get to those in a sec.
But, so what is this show? So, Boba Fett starts out, he's got to get out of the Sarlacc pit. And it's very interesting inside. I've seen, like, the crosshatch, whatever, artwork of a Sarlacc pit. It's got all these like stages and levels. I don't know where he was exactly in that, but there's a stormtrooper in there from some time ago, and there's this cool detail I had no idea about the air tube somewhere under the helmet line. Boba yanks it out, refuels for a second, pops his arm out, burns the fucker up, including himself.
I mean, if I'm just gonna comment on something that happened, yeah, like he there's a dead stormtrooper in there, and he yanks the air thing out and takes some for himself, which I don't know if we're supposed to know that the stormtrooper has been there for a long time or a recent dropping in there. From what I remember in Return of the Jedi, there was a couple of other people that fell down there before him, I think. I don't remember I don't think a stormtrooper was even in that battle sequence at all, so I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm not trying to nitpick here, guys. I'm just pointing something out that I'm thinking about real quick that's being brought up from the thing. And, you know, if it was down there for a certain amount of time, like for, you know, over a few days, I would think that whatever air is in there would have dissipated or something. I'm not sure how air management works. Like if you were to fill a tank of air, if it's not released, will it remain there for how long and will dissipate? I'm not sure. I imagine that over a certain amount of time, it wouldn't be much left to give them a boost, but... Yeah, it's just since I don't know much about that, it's not a complaint. I'm just pointing it out. That's all. Just a question.
Kind of cooking himself in somehow, claws his way through. Not as epic as some of the cool artwork I've seen of him like blasting his way with his jetpack up through the mouth. But
I've never seen the artwork anyway, so I don't know.
The jetpack was damaged by Han Solo on accident, so
yeah, that's true. It got
I guess
hit.
To the point he couldn't fly out.
Yeah, that makes enough sense. Like that.
Although I still don't really get why he would crawl out from the side versus just the mouth. It seems like
I don't know the significance of the Sarlacc pit, and
whatever.
I don't even care to ask.
A lot of people really harp on it. But yeah, he's all damaged, beat up, and fucking Jawas pick him clean.
Yeah, Jawas are
knock his ass out with a butt of the rifle.
They are little rascals, that's for sure.
Love it. Love the Jawas. Love the sandcrawlers.
I don't love them, but I don't hate them either.
Member berries.
They're there.
But well used. Then we fast forward some amount of time. Tusken Raiders find him, and that's really the meat. I would say there's two real plots. There's like current day after Mandalorian, where it's Boba's taking charge of Bib Fortuna, formerly Jabba Fett's empire.
Jabba Fett's
over, and he's kind of
Jabba Fett's Angus, really?
Tatooine and Mos Espa. And the other is kind of like while he's in the back to tank healing, he's starting to have these dreams, these recollections of the past, of escaping the Sarlacc pit. The time in between him having
and that is actually part of the plot, it seems. He mentions to Ming-Na Wen, I don't know her character's name, honestly I didn't catch it in the thing, she's an assassin chick from what I can gather, and yeah, Ming-Na Wen, I remember from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., suck it Angus, he hates Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he tells her that he's having these dreams, so they're not just there for a flashback for us. Like, he actually mentions the dreams are back. And so I guess that's going to come into play in some way. Maybe he's trying to remember something. I'm not really sure.
Tusken Raiders a lot in this, and I loved it. That was pretty cool. It reminded me of episode 2 or episode 1 of season 2 of The Mandalorian, where we get a lot of Tusken Raider little details and minutia, how they live, how they work, how they communicate with each other. And that was fun. And this is like, oh well, yeah. How do they get water? Well, they dig these weird little, like, giant berry things.
I mean, I never wondered. I mean, Luke had their moisture farm. They gather moisture from stuff. I guess that's how they get water in general. Wondering how anybody gets water was not a question I had for Tatooine.
Actually. And, yeah, it's kind of cool to see that there's some sort of weird slavery.
Have you ever noticed your phone doesn't charge as fast as it used to?
No.
You're not imagining it. Big cell phone manufacturers everywhere are literally
they probably designed cell phones to be replaced in 2 years. That's what they're for.
It's because of a business.
That's what they do.
Force on people as soon as they come in. And it's funny, though, because Boba Fett got to get away. He's untangling himself, cutting his bonds. And this freaking Rhodian, Greedo species, just like rats on him. It's like, why? You're in bondage, man.
The way I saw that scene play out, Boba Fett's trying to get away, and the other prisoner dude's like, blah, 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 for a second. But the way that the scene is shot is as if there's already Tusken Raiders running out to them, like, regardless of the prisoner dude going, blah, 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 to tell them anything. It seemed like they were already coming there, just from the way it was cut, so I don't know if the prisoner actually, if his warning meant anything. And it seemed to me like they were already heading that direction, at least the way they cut it, so I don't know.
Why did you do that? What an ass. You never really get an explanation on that.
It'll probably come up later.
Yeah, it was fun.
Whatever.
I like that. He's getting the shenanigans, and he's got like a kid, a tween, teenage, at best, Tusken, walking him on a leash with his dog, making him dig for these berry water cup things. And to Boba's chagrin, he can like never find them. And when he does, he drinks it. And then they get sideswiped by a weird, like, chameleon. You know that creature from Star Trek that Captain Kirk fights? He does like the fight in the desert, that really lame looking fight. Yeah, the thing looks chameleon eyes, and it's got 6 arms, legs. It like stands up, it's got like 4 sticking out like a bug, and then he like ends up walking with the
it was pretty
bottom
weird.
2 arms and his back legs. Kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree.
Crate dragon. It's just like, I don't get how you could have this many big species on a desolate desert planet.
Yeah, during a live stream the other day on All American Beef on Angus's channel, we had General Zod, another YouTuber, join us, and he pointed out that it would have been interesting if they had some snake thing from Mandalorian. I don't remember what it was called. I'm calling it like a dirt dragon or something. Thinking more tremors here, but there's some other species they discovered in the Mandalorian on Tatooine with the giant worm thing, and it's the only time it was like used pretty much. And if they were to have used that here, then that would have been probably some type of a better tie-in to the other show, which I kind of agree with narratively. If you're trying to have a universe connecting type of show, and you are, instead of just making a new creature, which would be fine, I think it'd work better if you had a different setting, which I'll get to that in a little bit about the setting. But if you had a creature that you had before and you only used it in your plot once, I don't know, to have it here on the planet again seems like that would sort of track through, but I don't know what the creature was in Mandalorian Season 2 that they had, so whatever. It's just
continue, Angus. Ignorance of sound ecology or biology. Having some awareness, some intelligence in designing this ecosystem. I'd appreciate that a bit more. That's just something that sticks out to me. I just didn't like this design. It didn't feel Star Warsy, but it was kind of cool, the chameleon eyes. And Boba Fett kills it, so he earns respect.
Sorry, I had to leave for a sec with the weird jump cut here. There's some noises being had, so I was trying to settle that down. Let's continue here.
Particular clan or tribe of Tuskens, and I guess that was kind of him solidifying his place on Tatooine. Maybe we're going to get a lot of, since half the show is about like his backstory, getting out of Sark Pit, and then these Tuskens afterwards. I'm wondering how much is going to be like essentially flashbacks in between 6 and 7 to start kind of catching us up, building more Disney lore for his story, and why he's networked his way up the ladder.
I'm also okay with characters having mystery to them. I don't need to know a lot about them, to be honest. But
take Bib Fortuna's empire, which was formerly Jabba's.
Jabba the Fett.
Other than that, the current stuff's like whatever. He's in the back tank. He keeps trying to heal his body from the burns and stuff. And he's established himself. He goes to a cantina. There's a hot Twi'lek, which is nice.
Yeah, so back to the present now. Oh, so he kind of skipped over. So when the giant creature thingy came out of the ground, he wraps the chain that was used to cuff him, essentially, and wraps it around its neck, and just kind of chokes it to death, which it's a huge creature, and it has multiple arms, and it just kind of seemed like the creature is just like, and then that's it, and then he's like, oh, he wins, and then the music's like, boom, 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 and the music was fine, but, like, the sequence of this little battle was, I don't know, really pointless. I feel like that whole sequence just seemed like a filler type of sequence to me. Like, it was just like, oh yeah, he just kind of wrapped the chain around him, and that was about it. It was just mundane is how I would describe it. It wasn't epic, and it just wasn't really that interesting of a way to beat it. I'm okay if they have this little sequence. I just kind of wish that the way that he defeated it was a little more clever, I guess. But I guess there's not much to do when the environment you're around is all desert. Again,
the green one that's like super buff and masculine, supposedly trans. I don't know why that would matter for a background character in the first place. If anything, it's kind of demeaning if you're trying to be representation.
Yeah, Angus told me about that before I watched the episode. He was like, hey, there's a whole trans Twi'lek thingy in there that everybody's freaking out about. Like, the people that like trans stuff are like, we finally have a trans thingy in Star Wars. Isn't that brilliant and brave? And then people that don't want it in there, it's like, why are you even trying to do this woke shit and blah, blah, blah. Like, and then I was like, Angus, how long is he in the thing for? Because I didn't see it at this point. He's like, I don't know, a few seconds. And I'm like, then it's just an irrelevant thing that's there. I don't think it's anything to be praised or hated. It's a background, ancillary, nothing character. Unless it becomes more prominent later, then I guess you can have both sides disagreeing about it. To me, it was just a nothing burger. I don't even think he had any lines. So it's just in the background. Nothing really to comment on there. China can easily cut it out for... we can easily cut it out for China.
For them, it's kind of mean to make them like a forgettable character
exactly.
for a second. But I don't really think... It's Star Wars. Why are we bringing these human, Earth political problems to Star Wars? Star Wars is like big picture cosmic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's a thing, supposedly. Haven't confirmed it. And then they get waylaid by some bandits of some sort trying to take their money. And that's pretty much it.
It's my woke up like this migraine medicine. It's Ubrelvy. One dose can quickly stop my migraine in its tracks.
There's a moment where Bo doesn't use his jetpack to fly away.
Okay, so now he's describing when they get jumped in the streets. So they go to this bar, and this lady's like, she has no idea who he is, and he's like, yeah, I'm the new Jabba in town, basically, taking over that and Tuna's old ranks, and now I'm there now. And she's like, oh, okay, cool, here's a bucket of money and whatever. And then they go on the streets, he's walking with Ming-Na Wen, and they get ambushed by like 6 or 8 or something guys who pull out their shields and little pokey spike things and zap them a bunch, and they're just going, just getting zapped, and he tries to fire a rocket at the shields that don't do anything, and it's a really mundane scene, again, and as far as, like, the people attacking, it seems really dumb. If their intention is to kill Boba and Ming-Na Wen, I don't know, a gun probably would have done it in this scenario with 8 of you guys surrounding them. Probably would have been an easy peasy fish in a barrel type of situation. If you wanted to poke at them and have it do damage, I feel like a sword even in this area, not even a lightsaber, just a plain old sword or knife would have done some damage to them. I don't know, it just seemed really dumb. I'd also think that the shields could cause damage if they swing it at them hard enough, maybe, but they'd also kind of surround them and wait for them to do stuff and stand around. It really mundane scene again. And then these Gamorrean guards, which that happens in the beginning too of the thing. There's at the beginning, he's like just sitting in a chair getting tribute sent to him, and then these 2 Gamorrean guards that have been there since Jabba's reign, and like, they don't surrender for anybody really, I guess, but they kind of do because they end up working for whoever supplants them. So these Gamorrean guards were there when Jabba died, failing once, and then when Tuna died, failing twice, and then he's like, Ming-Na Wen says, yeah, I should probably kill him. And he's like, no, let's let them live. Will you protect me and whatever? And if it was me, it's like, no, they failed at their job. They're guards. They suck. If those were bodyguards, like to protect the president or something, you fail. Your thing you're supposed to protect died twice. You failed two times. That is not a good track record. You want to be number 3? Fuck no. Get them a new job. Gamorreans don't have to be guards, right? Gamorreans are the thing, not Gamorrean guard species. They're Gamorrean species. They can be Gamorrean milkmen or something, work at the post office. Gamorrean post office worker. I don't know. Don't have to work. You don't have to be a guard. Gamorreans, come on.
Are these like shield people? I don't know. Very Wakanda-esque. We've seen shields before in Star Wars, but it's like, oh, come on. He's like, ooh, I got a space shield. Do something better.
Yeah, I'd say do something better, or don't have an action scene in the first episode if it's going to be this mundane. Like, I'd rather there be dedicated to good character work or dialogue. It doesn't have to be action scenes in every freaking episode. You can have good character work, which they don't seem to want to focus on. That's what's disappointing about this show so far, is that it's a big nothing burger. I feel like there wasn't that much substance. There's things happening, you're walking through events, but there's not much there. There's not much there.
Shield wall, like a digital shield wall around Boba Fett. Whatever. It's a pretty lackluster scene.
Yep.
Oh, one detail. I did like in the current timeline. Part of this plot was him in the lair where like the Rancor pit is underneath stuff. He's meeting people paying tribute to their new crime lord, and these Gamorrean guards come. They're like,
oh, he's commenting on this part
surrendered
now.
When their masters were slain, they'll serve you loyally. And Boba's like, all right, cool. Even though he's told like, yeah, you should probably kill them and send a message to potential enemies.
Yeah, I'd say send a message to do their job better, because if you want to be a guard, you should be good at guarding. I'd say they're worse than the guards from Snoke. Oh, he got killed. Oh, now we fight you. A little late, guys. A little late to the punch.
Especially since they had 2 previous masters that both died. Murdered.
It's really dumb.
It seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, we're in agreement. We're in agreement here, I guess. So that's
probably
good.
Won't be jeopardizing for me, but luckily it works out for him, because
when jeopardizing, it's just kind of dumb to me.
Kick their ass enough for Boba and Fennec to regroup and combat these people. But it was kind of just lackluster. That was probably the most boring stuff to me, was the current timeline, aside from the political intrigue. But aside from those Gamorrean guards and someone else paying tribute, apparently there's a mayor, despite Tatooine being the Wild West and lawless and crime lords run shit. Apparently there's a mayor of Mos Espa who's like, yeah, hi.
I had no idea that was the name of the place.
You're going to pay me tribute.
That went over my head.
And I was like,
whoops.
No. So you're already setting up some political intrigue in this story.
Which I know a lot of people hate politics in Star Wars, especially like from the prequels, seeing the Senate stuff, but that stuff can be good and help shape the world a little bit, but it depends on how they do it, I'll admit. Sometimes it can be done in a way that's unsatisfying, so we'll see here. But yeah, there's supposed to be some beef with the mayor and Boba Fett and his little posse now, I guess, so we'll see what happens.
Probably come to a violent head. Wondering what this person looks like, what the swagger will be of them. But it's a little like, at least currently, it makes you scratch your head. What? A mayor of Mos Espa? Whatever. But the guy was kind of funny, and being the messenger, it's like, oh, well, expect a delegation. I hope to see more film. I want him kind of fleshed out, whatever that messenger's name was. But yeah, I think a lot of people find it's lackluster, or they'll be annoyed if they can't jump right into the show and not have context. It's really going to hurt, I think, further down the line with if you don't know Mandalorian season 1 and 2 lore thus far.
Probably.
But I think it's a good move on Disney to kind of make you watch their other stuff, make you binge and digest their other content. But I think it could hurt them too that you can't just come into this clean.
I'm trying to come into this clean
Star Wars.
and see. In fact, I might watch the rest of this before I finish Mandalorian season 1 and 2. I might do that. Watch all this and then go back and watch that. See how I manage and piece things together. We'll see.
Thoughts overall.
We'll see.
I really enjoyed all the Tusken stuff. I never thought before this of Tuskens as pockets, as clans or tribes. I've always thought of them as just like kind of just oneness.
I always kind of pictured them as donkeys turned into humanoid form, and that's why they don't show their face, and that's why they go they make those weird noises. But that's just me. Thank you, Angus, for providing commentary or points for my commentary here. I appreciate that, buddy. Everybody, go and subscribe to Black Angus Reviews. He's going to be trying to put out a lot more of these reviews. He's far more on the ball with this kind of thing. I take forever to get around to watching a lot of stuff, but he's pretty on the ball with this, and that's good. So this was a nice way for me to comment on things I wanted to say about the episode, because I usually write scripts down, but I just don't know if I can do that all the time, especially on a weekly basis. So thank you, Angus, for providing your video for points here. Everybody, go check that out. Do you agree more with me on this, or Angus with this? Like, I don't hate the show because it's woke or anything. I didn't detect that much of a wokeness vibe from the show. I just thought it just seemed mundane is how I would summarize the first episode of the show. I'll say, and I'm being fair too, that it's just the first episode I'm judging. It's not the whole show. As the show would go, and if I see more of the show, then I'll know if it continues that pace or not. But a lot of people are saying it's just like Mandalorian, and that was mundane as well, it seems. So I don't know, and we'll see. I'm okay. I'm okay with giving things a chance with it. I want Star Wars to do well. I want it to do well. And Disney, there's a lot of issues with Disney these days. A lot of people don't want to give them any of their money, which I understand completely. But my thing is, I don't want Disney to fail. I want them to improve, because they have a lot of talent at Disney, and they've made a lot of great things over the years. So I want them to succeed and improve rather than succeed off of just, we only did this for this little purpose, and not to make something good or enjoyable. That's the kind of thing that's a little different there. But let me know what you think in the comments, I suppose, and don't forget to subscribe to Angus. So, see you guys later.